So with that, we're going to Clyde now next. Clyde, if you could come up here. Clyde has, been part of a stalwart of our generator business going back, helped start up reinitiate the Generator Specialist Program, the precursor to the Generator Specialist Program back in the late 80s. He was inducted with Tom Mitchell to the Generator Specialist Hall of Fame. Very fond memories, good friends, and Clyde's going to give us a few minutes on what Tom Mitchell has meant to the company.
Well, I may have been around a lot of years, but I know how to run PowerPoint, but this is not PowerPoint. I've been doing a seminar with about 1,400 slides for the last 5 years or so on generator maintenance. But it is a privilege and an honor to talk about Tom Mitchell. He was as genuine and good a person as most of us will ever know. My personal experiences with Tom go back in about 15 years when I came back working for Hugh Murphy after I'd retired. I knew him as a friend, but he was a friend to everybody. He was honest. Those of you who knew him well would know he was honest almost to a fault, if that's possible. He was intelligent. There was none better than he. I talked with Linda, his wife, a time or two before and after his death. Of Tom, Linda said he was a faithful family man, and he was home as much as he could be in his chosen field of work, and you generator specialists will appreciate that. Tom and Linda have 2 children. Their ages are 24 and 20, and they're both in the seminary for their Baptist church. Tom was loyal to his Baptist faith. He was the sort of man that every group, every religion would want him on their payroll or in their membership records. He lived out there in Salt Lake City among the Mormons, and being a Mormon myself, I used to tease him a little bit, suggest maybe life would be simpler for him if he just joined my church. But he never proselyted me, and I never proselyted him. Somebody with his shoulders as broad as he had, you're a little careful what you say to them. Politics, what dare I say about Tom's politics? Tom was just a little bit to the right of almost every one of us in this room. But he was outspoken in his defense of the truth as he saw the truth. That applied to politics, generators, and life in general. His death was an unexpected blow to everyone who knew him. When you heard he had cancer, you felt that he was so strong and so good that he would beat that somehow. But he had a very aggressive form of liver and colon cancer, and his life was cut short. We won't know on this life why he was taken back so soon. But you can be sure that wherever he is now, he's busy. Maybe he's not working on generators, but you can be sure that he's helping him to make things better where he is now, just as he was when he was here with us. Tom was a generator specialist, supreme. He was totally committed to his customers, totally committed to GE in his own way, totally committed to helping other generator specialists. He was one you turned to when you found a generator problem you didn't understand, and I used to call him quite often. He was never moody, never held back information, always helpful and informative. He was totally correct, and he agreed with me on almost everything I thought. I developed 2 rules when I turned 70. One of them was, no matter what happens, it's not my fault. The other rule is, I judge how bright people are by how often they disagree with me. Tom was incredibly smart. Now, I talked to some of his work associates, and from his fellow generator specialists, you'd get information like this. They would go to him on difficult technical problems. He had tremendous insight in generators. He was very intuitive about the generators. And he was completely honest. You can see that theme running through everything that I'm saying. He was absolutely honest. I talked to Tom Vera, his manager, and Tom said he helped make sure the generator specialist program is what it is today. He was a trainer. He always had an answer, and he was always willing to give it to you. He never shirked his duty. He was dedicated to other generator specialists, dedicated to GE, dedicated to his church, and dedicated to his family. I talked to Les Lake from Pacific Corp. Les said he was always there to help, anytime, day or night. That was true whether he was at home or in his office or on vacation or on another job somewhere assigned. He would help you with anything he ever knew and never held back, treated you like a good friend and a good customer. Always totally the gentleman. I never saw Tom anyway but as a gentleman and acting as a true gentleman. It's fitting that you offer this tribute to Tom this evening. He was a generator specialist like many of you here. I've gone into power plants both as a turbine and as a generator specialist. That generator specialist assignment is a tough one. All of you guys who are doing that work, including you fellows that were standing up a moment ago, recognize that it's a difficult job. If you go into a power plant as a turbine man, you'll find allies. You'll find people that understand the turbine. Turbines are pretty intuitive. So you've got reinforcements and people you can talk to about your ideas, good and bad, off from. You go into a power plant as a generator specialist, well, there's almost nothing about the generator that's intuitive. Most people in a power company don't understand the generator, and most power plants won't have anybody who can really understand and talk intelligently with about the generator. Mostly even we in this hall don't understand the generator very well. And generator diagnostics is a particular problem and sometimes borders almost on the impossible, as we've learned from sad experience. This is the work that you're doing. It's technically challenging. Many and diverse are the problems, often insufficient backup for technical information. Where do you go when you have a technical problem? It can be very difficult to get a good answer. But you have a job to do, and you do it. And for the most part, you do it very, very well. What then is Tom's legacy? Tom was a generator specialist. He always did the work of a generator specialist. He always did it well. He never flinched from the difficult, and perhaps even more important, he never flinched from the truth. In a sense, Tom's legacy is your legacy. You are the elite of the power generation industry. So think occasionally of Tom as you do your challenging work and feel a little bit better about yourself. Thank you from a friend of Tom's.
Thank you, Clyde. Now we have a couple of open mics if there's anyone that would like to say a few words about Tom.
I know this is difficult, so I'll start it off. When I came to PGS, now INFS, I went to Tom and I asked him, I said, Tom, how can I fit in? I'm from the factory. I don't have the testing experience. I said, what is it that I can contribute? And he helped me along, and what he told me was to help us get our act together. And there you see the theme of this generator maintenance seminar. And Tom was always there for all of us. And I know there's a number in this room that will remember Tom and appreciate where we are today because of his contributions.
I'm standing up. I want y'all to know that. Mr. Tom was a good man. There's a lot of people in this room that know he was a good man. But he never told me what I didn't know. He always told me to strive to know what I needed to know. That's as much as I could ask for out of a friend.
And I am standing up too. Tom Mitchell is from our area. I'm from the Oakland Service Center. And Tom Mitchell was from that area. I did a lot of hydros. I did a lot of jobs with Tom. And Tom was always friendly and always good to all of the winders. Every winder I know really liked Tom. You know, it was always fun to have him on a job. And I want to say hello, Tom. And I know he's here, you know. Without a doubt, I know he's here because everybody's in tune to Tom. And he's here. So I want to say hello, Tom, from Sam.
I'd just like to say a few words about Tom. I was fortunate enough to have worked with Tom on one of his last jobs. I believe it was back in 2000 at Hatch. He came down, helped us out, and I remember everybody on that job, after he left, making comments about, where's Tom, how's he doing? We really enjoyed having him. He was a pleasure to be around, and that always stood out in my mind. We sensed he might be having some problems then, and of course he worked one more job after he left us. And you know, I guess we wish we would have known that was the last time we were going to work with him. But I was able to communicate with his family a little bit, with him and his family before he passed on. And I'm glad I was able to do that. And one other thing that sticks out in my mind was the fact that Dave Landry got to go out and visit him and sent us all a really nice email describing his experience with Tom. And I've saved that email, and it'll always mean a lot to me to know that you know, he had achieved something in his life that meant a lot to him. And I just wish his family all the best.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Now we're going to introduce Charlie Monaster, who will be presenting the recipients of the first Thomas W. Mitchell Awards. So Charlie?
Tonight, I will be presenting an award for generator training excellence to a number of you here tonight and others who could not be here. The award is called the Thomas W. Mitchell Award for Generator Training Excellence. It is being awarded by Power Systems University to those who have made significant contributions to INRS training, have demonstrated continued dedication to winder training, and who are highly skilled both technically and as instructors. Again, as Meg had stated, when I read off people's names, I'd like you all to stand at the tables and remain standing until I complete the list. All awards will be picked up later in the front. I want to start by recognizing several people who make my job much easier. Their support for INRS training has been unwavering, and it's because of this dedication that the generator program for INRS is as strong as it is today. With the following generator specialists, please stand. Dave Burgone. Paul Jensen. And Jim Ross. Please keep standing now. Just a little informal note here. These three generator specialists have done a real large number of courses for me, teaching the winders. And I always review at the end of every class all the surveys that we give the winders, and sometimes I swear they pay the winders to score them real high. I get excellence almost every time. I'm real proud of these guys, and they've done great for me. All right, we all know that no matter how good the lead instructors are, the role of work leader is just as important to the success of training. I want to recognize the following current and former work leaders for their ownership and pride in improving the skills of INRS winders. Tom Brannigan, Larry Braun, Max Elmore, Wayne Ferguson, Henry Gallagher, Mel Holtman, Tim Mallinger, Bill Miller, Scott Miller, Scott Rankin, Dan Stacy. Now, lastly, I'd like to recognize and give special thanks to Herb Panzer for the many years that he supported INRS training. And I'd really like to thank you all personally for a job well done. Thank you. Now I'd ask that Lawton Test come to the front and present for INFS. Thank you.
Anyway, I run the General Specialist Program at PSU. And at PSU, we were asked to identify significant contributors to the General Specialist Program. And after some thought, I formed the question, or we formed the question, who has helped to make the General Specialist Program what it is today? And as we thought about it, we said, gee, we looked around the room here, and I say, the answer is all of you. I mean, the spirit, the core we have here, of all of you general specialists, coming together, the synergy when we all get together like this, is fantastic. And all of us today make the General Specialist Program what it is. We are proud of what we do, and we're all proud to be a part of it. And we see it here. So now I'd just like to say thanks. I had to go back and find out certain people that have helped me in the past 2.5 years that I've been at PSU to keep the program on track and help me teach and keep the quality up and the standards as we want to have it. And so please, again, I'm asking you if you'd please stand up in place when I call your name and remain standing, and we'll give you all a round of applause and thank you. And I want to thank you for your help over the years that you've led up to this point in time. First guy that comes to mind here is Ron Barlett. Please stand up, Ron. And this is alphabetical listing here, so there's no means of importance or seniority, okay? So don't let the B go to your head, okay? Now another B here, Larry Bordeaux. It's been a great help over the years. Another one here who's been a great hand at PSU, Bruce Falk. One more, the keeper of the scribes. Whenever we say, who remembers the history about a particular thing? Ed Kokert. Another guy that's been a great help at PSU. He's not here tonight. I don't see him. Bruce Loveland. I don't see him around here tonight. One more man that has helped maintain the standards, helped me in my job when I took it over, and also helped me get everybody assigned to good jobs, Chuck Marino. Next guy up here is going to be Bernie Traver. Thank you for your help over the years, Bernie. And my last one up here is going to be Monty Waters, please, for running great jobs, great teaching. Thank you. Thank you. One more name comes to mind here, and we thought about someone else who was a major driver in the General Specialist Program and training and keeping everybody going. General Equality Revolution, and Frank Yaratowski comes to mind as a person. Helped us all. Thank you. And this quarter, we have vouchers because this quarter hasn't been real good here. We'll be giving the, no, we have prizes. Prizes are over here. We'll hand them out later on. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Stay here. Can we have Clyde Mon come up, and also we have Waxy.
Oldest people in the building.
Not the oldest, but the people that care the most about our training recently.
Wow, we're overshadowed by all these.
You know, it's
the icons.
We kind of have a tradition of generator specialist training here, standing in front of us. If you leave me out, you know, Clyde, who helped reinvigorate the generator specialist training class back in the late '80s. Waxy, who took over for Clyde in the 90s, I believe, in 1990, and really was a stalwart that got the generator specialist program instituted, took it from a field program and brought it in and made it really a classroom-based and an OJT-based program. And Lawton, who's taken over for Waxy from that. It's a difficult job to be in the training center. These guys have to really set the foundation for all our generator specialist candidates for really the rest of their careers. It's the training, it's the ownership that each one of these people feel every day. It's not easy to tell someone to make them to understand what the processes are, what the procedures are, to get people and get instructors. You're fighting against outage season to try to get some of our best generator specialists who stood up here earlier to get them into the training center and be able to conduct that training. It's a very difficult job. Each one of these people, we're fortunate enough to have had work for us to institute our training. I know I was trained under these same people. Under Waxy was instrumental in my training. All three of these people have a passion for excellence and a caring and a respect for every one of the students that comes through our program. We're really truly honored and we're truly blessed to have people like this that care enough and give as much as they give day in and day out for not just during the working hours, but the emails and the phone calls, the support for meetings, both before work and after work. It's a nonstop job. It's a difficult job. Training assignments that generator specialists are on don't just happen from 8 to 5. They happen on night shift and second shift and third shift in the morning. And these three people have always been here to support that day in and day out. So with that, I'd like to honor all three of you.